Today's shooters have quite an array of projectiles from which to choose, and while having all of these choices might seem confusing at first, actually it's pretty simple once you understand a few of the basic concepts.
You see, different designs of muzzle loaders will perform best with different designs of projectiles. For example, most flintlocks have a very slow rate of rifling twist, about 1 in 66, meaning that the rifling grooves in the barrel only make one complete turn every 66 inches. Now for these guns, round balls will be more accurate than any other type of projectile.
And conversely, the most modern guns will have a very fast rate of twist, say 1 in 28, making them perform best with saboted bullets or power belts.
Here you see examples of the various projectiles available to today's shooters. Since I've already mentioned the round ball, I'll start with that. Now the round ball, or the patched round ball, was the very first muzzle-loading projectile. The concept is pretty simple. You have a round ball of lead that is inserted down the barrel with a cloth patch under and around it. The patch serves as a gas seal to keep the gases, and therefore the pressure, behind the round ball after the powder is ignited. Now, up until about the 1840s, this was the only type of muzzle-loading projectile that was available. So, if a shooter is a real stickler for authenticity, a flintlock rifle shooting the patched round ball will likely be his choice.
The next example is what is known as a pure lead conical. Now these have been around since right before the Civil War. Back then they were called mini balls because a French guy with the last name of Mini was the inventor. These were a huge military innovation at the time because the design allowed a soldier to load his rifle much more quickly and clean less often than he could have with a patched round ball. This ease of loading is due to the design of the bullet. It's slightly underbore, so it goes down the barrel easily. But see how the base is hollow. The design allows the bullet to expand upon ignition of the powder, forming a tight gas seal and engaging the rifling of the barrel. So not only was the bullet easy to load, it was incredibly accurate. And because of the longer conical shape, it was much heavier than a round ball of the same caliber, meaning it had more knockdown power. Hunters also like the pure lead conical for all of these same reasons.
And then came the next great innovation in projectiles, and that would be the saboted bullet. The saboted bullet gained popularity about the same time that the inline rifle was first introduced to American hunters. The word sabot also has a French heritage. The sabot, or sabot, means shoe in French. And this little plastic shoe, or sabot, goes around the lead bullet and serves the purpose of forming a perfect gas seal. Now, as you've probably already figured out, the gas seal is very important in muzzle loading. With a round ball, we used a patch as a gas seal. With a pure lead conical, it formed its own gas seal by expanding upon ignition of the powder charge. But neither of these seals were as perfect as the one formed by the plastic sabot. And here's the important part. The more perfect the gas seal, the more consistent the pressures, and the more consistent the pressures, the more accurate the projectile. So, as you might guess, the saboted bullet was a big hit with muzzleloader shooters. However, it did have a couple of drawbacks. First, because the plastic sabot must go around the bullet, the diameter of the bullet had to be smaller to compensate, meaning that, for example, in a 50 caliber gun, you're actually shooting a 45 caliber bullet. Second, because the plastic melts as it goes down the barrel, between shot cleaning is necessary or the gun becomes very difficult to reload.
So now that you've had your little history lesson, we arrive at the most recent muzzleloading projectile innovation, the power belt bullet. O'Neill and I have had experience of hunting with these power belt bullets all over the world as we started shooting them as soon as they hit the market back in 2000.
And boy, have they done the job for us.
Sure have, and here's how they work. The power belt combines all of the advantages of the pure lead conical, full bore diameter, and easy loading, with all of the advantages of the saboted bullet. Perfect gas seal and superior accuracy. The way they work is pretty simple. Instead of having a sabot around the bullet, the power belt has a plastic base, or power belt, that attaches to the base of the bullet. This plastic base provides a perfect gas seal just like the sabot. But, as you can see, the plastic does not actually surround the bullet. Rather, the base only forms a gas seal, allowing the bullet itself to expand and fill the rifling. So no plastic residue is left behind after your shot. That means you can reload 7 to maybe 10 times without cleaning your barrel. And because you have no plastic wall around your bullet, you can shoot full caliber bullets rather than undersized bullets, giving the maximum knockdown power you want.
And Chad, as we've proven so many times before, the accuracy is unbelievable. And you'll see more examples of that later, but right now, let's move on and talk about the third component of the charge, the ignition system.